One of the things, speaking of being too distracted, that you focus on multiple times in the book is the life of a samurai. Why did you choose to use that as such an important element of the book?
Yeah, because if I was born 100 years earlier or 200, then I would have been a samurai. At least if my mom would have married another Japanese guy. Yeah, my mom from samurai descendants. So it's got a very personal connection. What's amazing that I found really amazing is as I was researching the book, I realized in my mind that love, wisdom, and courage were the three most powerful resources. And then once I decided on that, then I found out that's what the Bushido code was of the samurai. It was based on love, wisdom, and courage. And that was amazing.
I also liked how you, in the book, talk about the samurai and this focus on the three qualities that you bring up in the book, but also their inherent mindfulness and focus on being present at all times because they never knew when their life might end.
Yeah.
And so they were always having to live in the moment. And it's so different than how most of us live today.
The way I think about it is I want to be prepared to fully live or fully give up that life to die in a moment's notice. And what I mean by that is I want to capture beauty. I think most of my life I've missed it, certainly missed more than I've seen and want to miss less. And so I want to capture it when I see not just the easy ones, beautiful sunset or a leaf falling from a tree. I saw my first leaf fall, first sign of fall a few days ago. But I want to capture it from a homeless person or a kid or someone in a nursing home, and I want to be ready to give up my life in a moment's notice as well. If it comes down between my life and someone else's, I want to be able to have a heart that's ready to give up my life.
One other story I was hoping you might be able to talk about because I'm here in Florida and he came from Florida is the story of Rick Ankiel, who came from Port St. Lucie High School in Florida, was named High School Player of the Year by the USA Today, drafted by the Cardinals, receives $2.5 million signing bonus. What ended up happening to Rick?
Well, it's quite a story. Rick had a mental block of being on the pitcher's mound and couldn't throw a strike. And he ended up going gets down. He signed a big contract, and what happened was the head coach Tony La Russa put this rookie in a big playoff game when he wasn't ready, and he got a mental block and threw the ball into the dirt, and then he stressed out about it. And so your subconscious mind doesn't care if you make a mistake; it only cares how you feel about mistakes or anything really. You could lose your job, and if it doesn't have any meaning to you, you'd be like, oh, subconscious gives it a pass. But if it was traumatic to you, or if you feel really embarrassed, then that subconscious is going to lock it in. And so he felt really bad for throwing the ball in the dirt or whatever. And so then that became a mental block, and he had to retire from baseball as a pitcher. But then amazingly, one day his agent said, hey, let's go back and play as a position player. Then he came back, and that interesting about that, how the mind works. The home plate is 60 feet 6 inches from pitcher's rubber, and he couldn't. Sometimes he couldn't throw it where the catcher could even touch it. But from the outfield, he could throw it to third base, and the third baseman not have to move his glove more than a foot or two. And that's because from the outfield, there's no pressure to throw it, to hit it, throw a strike. It's just like putting in golf. There's no pressure to sink a 50-foot putt, but there is pressure to sink a 3 footer.
Yeah, isn't that so funny how that is? The layup becomes harder than the half court shot in so many cases in our lives.
Yeah, it's
Is
all
an
based on the same thing. It's the fear of rejection.
rejection in this case by the fans, by your
Well,
teammates.
the way it plays out is if I miss a 50-foot putt, nobody's going to say, oh, I can't believe you missed that. Oh, how terrible. Boo. That doesn't happen. You miss a 3 foot putt, people are going to be whispering and they're going to be, oh, and you're going to feel, you could feel, wow, I'm a pro golfer and I missed a 3 foot putt. Pro golfers shouldn't miss 3 foot putts. And especially if someone in the crowd says, my grandma could have made that, then you feel really bad because our greatest need is for love and acceptance, and our greatest fear is rejection. And the subconscious mind feels if I screw something up that I shouldn't screw up, I'm going to get rejected. And so fear becomes a big issue for things that we feel like we shouldn't screw up on. And that's where the ego comes into play. The better you get at mastering the ego, the more fearless you are because you're not afraid of screwing up. And that's what the greatest are able to do. They're able to master their ego enough so that they're not filled with fear every time that they have something that they really want to do, but don't know if they can do it.